Tuesday on Home and Family, actress Wendy McClendon-Covey from ABC's The Goldbergs joins us. Plus, actor and musician John Schneider is performing. Welcome back. Here sharing a very inspiring story about how her dog's positive attitude and spirit helped her along her own road to recovery is Tracy Campion and her dog, Jack, who is just comfortable as can be on the sofa. It's so nice to have you. I want to tell everybody watching, there's a wonderful organization. It's called Mutual Rescue, and they have launched a series of films, and it's really aimed at revealing the impact that animals and people have on one another, just not on the dogs, on the people, but people on their pets, and that's why we love our pets so much. So, Tracy, you heard of the organization. You said, you know what, I want to submit my story. Why?
Yeah, well, I had seen, there was a prior film called Eric and Petey, and I thought that it was inspirational, and I felt like Jack had had a similar effect on my life, and he continues to have an impact on my life, and I decided to submit our story as well. So often people think of helping animals or helping people as two mutually exclusive things, but Mutual Rescue is moving to shift that paradigm and show that helping animals does help people.
He's so sweet. He obviously believes that. So I want to let our audience know, both, as you can see, Jack, get down. He has 3 legs. He has 1 eye. Tracy suffered a really extreme injury, as did Jack, as you can see. Yet the two of them got together and they managed to really heal each other. I want to show you a little clip from a film that tells Tracy and Jack's story. Take a look.
As a rider, you're going to have falls. But this was not like the other falls. There was a moment between catapulting and landing. I felt like time was just stretched out. I was suspended above the earth. I had never landed that hard from anything before. As I was laying there, I realized I couldn't really move my legs. I shattered my pelvis on my right side and my left side, and I broke my sacrum as well. I was confined to a wheelchair, laying on a couch for months. It was really humbling. I had to completely learn how to walk again. Before the accident, my husband and I had a plan to get a house and get a dog and hopefully start a family. Everything basically got put on hold. I felt like the world was just literally passing me by as I looked out the window.
Wow. So what happened next?
So I had gone to visit my grandfather, and he had been diagnosed with cancer. He'd had a pretty rapid decline, and the next morning I woke up and I thought, I don't want to keep waiting to get a dog. Animals had been so important in his life. And so I went to the shelter that morning just to look. And it was the first morning that Jack had been available for adoption.
When you arrived at that shelter, do you remember seeing him for the first time and what he looked like?
I do. Well, and I'd wanted to adopt the kind of dog that nobody else would want to adopt. Maybe a senior dog or a dog with some kind of special needs. Those tend to be the dogs that will linger at the shelter. People will overlook them. And so when I went in, he was the very first dog that I saw. And he was laying in such a way that I couldn't tell if he had 3 legs or if he was just laying with a leg tucked beneath him. And then he got up, and I could see that he had 3 legs and 1 eye, and he could hear me talking, and he put his 1 front paw on the glass. And that was it for me. That was the only dog that I wanted.
You know, let me ask you this. You bring up a great point. It's true. It's dogs that are senior dogs that have disabilities that people overlook, but it's also a huge responsibility. Why did that touch you?
Well, it touched me because you can see the physical trauma that he went through, but nobody could tell that I had gone through that. And so I'd had a pelvis that it healed crooked, and then I was having some trouble walking normally again afterward, but nobody really knew because it wasn't something that I talked about. And so seeing him, I felt like he looked on the outside the way I felt on the inside, and I felt like he was a perfect fit for me.
How was he injured?
He was hit by a car a month before I adopted him, and he still had all of his shave marks from his surgery.
Wow.
So how did adopting Jack change your life? I mean, obviously changed his life.
It saved his life.
It saved his life.
Likely saved his life.
Well, he was at an excellent rescue organization that I'm sure would have taken as long as it needed to help him find a home. But it completely changed my life because after you've had a life-altering injury like that, I mean, before that I would hike and walk all the time and ride horses all the time. And I'd started riding again 4.5 months after the accident. But I just didn't have the motivation to get out of the house all of the time and walk and run. And having him, there were no excuses. I mean, he just approaches everything in life with joy.
Even with 3 legs, he was
Even
ready to
with
go for a
3
walk?
legs. Yeah, and he couldn't go for really long walks at first. We had to do a lot of shorter, frequent walks. But we built up our stamina together. And what was great was if I was having an off day, nobody noticed. Everybody would just notice Jack.
There's something I want to share with you guys. Something very special happened on Tracy's birthday. You want to share with them?
Yeah, so on my birthday last year, I was walking Jack and he was kind of running ahead of me. He doesn't really walk slowly, he has to bounce. And I thought, I'll start running with him. And I started to run with him a little bit and then a little bit more. And then I just kept on running because I thought at some point I'll get tired or I'll get sore. And he turned around and looked at me with his one eye with this look of amazement, like he couldn't believe that I was running with him. And we've been running together daily ever since.
How's that for a birthday present, huh? How wonderful is that?
So through Jack and your healing, you've been able to continue your passion for horses again, your love for horses.
Yeah, I started riding 4.5 months after my accident, and then when I go out to my barn, I take him with me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he loves the horses.
And you say we can all learn from Jack.
Absolutely. For him, there's no excuses. You take chances and you live life to the fullest, and you approach everything with joy.
Wow.
And for him,
Shame on us for not doing
that.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
I
you
mean,
hope-
if I'm having an off day, it's like I have no excuse. Look at him.
And what do you hope this film accomplishes?
I'm hoping it'll inspire other people to adopt animals, especially special needs animals, and realize what an impact that they can have on your life, just how much joy they can bring to your life.
I think he's just special, not special needs.
He's just special.
He rescued you.
I think that's what they should start
Yeah,
calling
it is.
dogs that have special needs. They're called
Just
special.
special, period.
Yeah.
Not special needs. And you, my friend, are very special. And I'm
Thank
so
you so
happy
much.
that you're doing so much
Thank you.
better. Thank you. Shirley, you're also special. You're up next.
Well, how do I follow that? Such passion for life. But you know what, friends? I have something for you to be passionate about. Scented geraniums.